fine?
We're live.
Fine. Are we live? Right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the South African Women's Hockey IPT. My name is Tyron Jabu Barnard, and it'll be my voice you're hearing throughout the day with some great commentary team as we look at the action. We have an action-packed day. We have a final that features Southern Gauteng. It features Western Province, the hosts, looking to win the trophy for the first time since 2011. We have the battle of the Fourie sisters for the bronze medal. Tegan versus Kirian, Northerns versus Raiders. We have the SA Under-21s making an impact, making a step towards their tournament. And of course, we have the battle for pride and glory here as in our opening game, we have EP versus Western Province Pens. Polo, it's a pulsating day of action. It's a day that has ingredients for a wonderful cake. Who's going to be eating from this cake today?
Jabu, I think the first game is always the toughest game to play. Both teams having come from a loss yesterday. It's day 6 of a really long week. It's going to be tough for these goals, but like you said, it's all for pride in the morning game. And then the next one, I think the Under-21s will be liking to have a W to end off their campaign, and then going forward, they looking forward to getting into their Junior World Cup preparation. And third and fourth, that's a big game, because you lose that game, you almost go home with nothing, and you win that, you go home with a medal. And then the last game of the day, will Southerns do it again against Western Province? I believe so.
Yeah, of course, you have to be a little biased. I don't want you to get in trouble at home with your employers. But yesterday, performance of the day was definitely Western Province. They got it spot on in the game against KZN, tactically right. Quinita Bobs is quite honestly the player on the most fiery form we've seen at this IPT right now.
Yes, we had expected that Leland du Plessis was going to carry on her prolific goal scoring tally, and she couldn't got anything on the board yesterday. And like you said, Bobsy was just unbelievable. All experience coming through at the right time. The drag flick on the penalty corner. That's all you need from a player of her caliber.
And let's talk about Southerns. Matsepo Modipani, the forgotten keeper. We talk about Pumelela Umbanda all the time. We talk about Charlize and Swanepoel, Marlies van Tonda playing over in USA. But Matsepo Modipani, yesterday, Southerns called on their keeper and she answered the call. It was an absolutely flawless performance in that shootout. She read everything so well. Obviously, as a Southerns person, you must be happy for her, but as a hockey person, you must also be impressed with how she's bounced back from her personal disappointments and is producing it on the field.
No, not too many people know how hard that lady works. Her footwork, timing, her stick work. She's been so unbelievable this whole year. Obviously, I get to see her at league week in, week out, and she's been great for her club. It was unbelievable what she did yesterday. We would talk about goalkeepers and their footwork, and she was very light on her feet, very agile. She went down at the right time. Her timing was unbelievable, and match winner for Southerns.
Another match winner for Southerns is the player who is the captain, Bernadette Costin. She's been absolutely a firecracker in the middle of the park. We talk about Kristen Payton because Kristen is that good. But in the middle of the park, you have Bernie, who's been in fantastic form. Great to see her back. And of course, Nompilo Tenjwayo has just learned to be in the right place at the right time and finishes so cool and calm. How important will they be in today's game? Yeah,
I think, Bernie's got a lot of yards left in her legs. I know that Bernie was going to run through, if we had 2 hours of this final, she would run through 2 hours of hockey. And she's been great. She's led well as the captain. And Nompilo has been unbelievable in finding the space in the circle, the timing in the circle. If you look at all the goals she scored, all of them tip-ins, right? Just about being at the right place at the right time. And I think today they're going to be the difference between gold or silver for Southerns.
And of course, it would be remiss not to talk about that attacking quartet of Western Province. We've spoken about Quinita, but Taryn Glasby, you look at Taryn Glasby, Ongi Mali, who's been in sensational form, and of course Julia Hull. That's a very scary attacking threat that they have.
Yeah, I think you spoke about personal disappointments this year. I think a couple of players have a lot of fire in their heart, and they're showing it this week. So Ongi, we know what to expect from her. She'll run through everyone with all the speed in the world. Julia Hall, I think she's one of the best ball players in the circle, and that's what we've seen from them this week. We can't not talk about Taryn Glasby. I think the most exciting striker that we have in our country.
That's it. You've heard it all here from the one and only Coach Polo, a player who knows what it takes to win an IPT. She knows what it takes to score in an Olympic Games too. We'll take you through all the action live on ES Media, brought to you by Belgatech Sports and 4Ways Online. It promises to be 4 fantastic games of hockey, and at the end of today, the trophy will either be at the coast or back in Joburg. Let's see where it is. And we're back with the 7th and 8th place playoff. Joining you on the commentary this morning is Tanya Brits and the legend, Olympian, Coach Tanya Polo.
How's it, Jabu? I love that intro. As we get into it, first minute, I hate to do this to you, but where do you think this is going to go?
Yeah, look, I think Pins at times this week have looked like they were about to turn a corner and get the win. At times this week, and they just haven't managed to do it. EP, a very young side, some promising talent, but very much in the development phase for me. The experienced players haven't quite stood up for them this week. So I'm going to say home ground advantage. Pens will narrowly win this 7-6.
Yeah, I think, we've all waited for Chanel Robbenheimer. When she fires, this EP team looks unbelievable. And I think she will want to find her range today. Nicole Camp has been really good for them at the back. Zemi has been good for them at the back. So if the Eastern Province team, they find their feet, we could see something special here. But, as we say that, Western Province Pens gets their first penalty corner with just 2 minutes gone in the first quarter.
Polo, you obviously, let's make sure that we're all aware of the bias lines that are there. You are a Southern person, and let's talk about the final. It is an exciting prospect. It's the two heavyweights of South African hockey, Western Province versus Southerns, Quinita Bobs, Kristen Payton, Taryn Glasby, Bernie Costin, Ongi Mali. I mean, it's going to be, let's just watch this injection. The strike, charge down, and it will be a reward. I mean, as far as it goes, being a provincial hockey fan, being a hockey fan in South Africa, it's the final you wanted, and it's the final we got. And it's an opportunity for players to put their hands up. Some players, we know their class. Other players, we're about to find out their class. You must be excited for that game. It's
going to be a crack of a game, Tyron, and as a hockey enthusiast, this is, like you said, exactly what we wanted. I think these are the two teams that, in terms of experience, at this level, experience at IPT finals, these are the two teams that you want in a final. The hardest thing at IPT is beating a team twice, and that will be the challenge for Southerns today. And if I had to put on my neutral hat, that will be the biggest challenge for Southerns, is to beat them twice. And Western Province, home ground advantage. It is a weekend. We'll have a bit of a crowd here for them. They'll have half of Cape Town rooting for them, and it's going to be difficult for Southerns to repeat what they did on Tuesday.
Yeah, absolutely. It's also, Tuesday in an IPT tournament feels like years ago. So much has happened. The bodies are sore. They're tired. Some players get stronger, like you said, Bernie Costin. For her, the week's only just starting. And for other players, you haven't played as much hockey because of COVID, because of restrictions, and you've got today, day 5, day 6, the bodies are sore.
Yeah.
That little burst just takes that little bit more out of you. And not everyone is as young and sprightly as you and I are. So, actually, I don't think any player on the field is as old as me. So, it is a little bit tougher in that, and you see which players are really in tune and made for this kind of.
Yeah, Jamie, I've said it before this week that I've been so impressed with the lack of injuries that we've seen. No niggles really that you're seeing. It's other big injuries, right? And I think it's been really good to know that these high performance athletes have taken time to stay conditioned during the various lockdowns, various restrictions, and even when we weren't allowed to be outside of your house, you can see that people have been doing some work. So that is very impressive, and that bodes well for how seriously everyone takes our sport, how seriously these athletes take their craft, and this is why it's been so exciting to see every game this week.
Yeah, it's a great point, but we did have a serious injury yesterday that has clouded a little bit as we see Eastern Province break through Chanel Robenheimer, who passes it through to Nicole Kemp, but she loses control and Pens are able to get away with it. Chanel Robenheimer, a player who played her indoor debut for South Africa at the African Cup, an exciting prospect, another player who I think we'll see a lot more of in the future. But yeah, the one injury we are talking about is yesterday in the 5-8 playoffs against Pens. We saw that Untitled Chapter went down with a shoulder injury. She is not expected to play today. And you as a player who've been there on the fringe of tournaments, the Under-21 World Cup coming, how disappointing is it to pick up an injury at a time like that?
Yeah, I don't think there's ever a right time to pick up an injury, and having seen what happened earlier this year with our goalkeeper, the men's goalkeeper, Sia Nolutungu, not being able to travel to Tokyo with the national team. These things happen. This is a high-performance sport, and looking at how quickly he's recovered, how quickly he's bounced back, I don't think this is a career-ending injury in any way, shape, or form. I think Tati will be back soon, and hopefully it's not as serious as it looked yesterday.
Yeah, so obviously, just for those wondering, as we see Pens drive into the circle, pick up a pass, good save there. Gabriella Jordan in goals, making the save on the stick side, having to react quite quickly, but doing so very well. Of course, over the next 9 months, we have the Under-21 Junior World Cup being hosted in Potchefstroom. Yes, you've heard that right. World Cup in Potchefstroom. It's true. The rumours are true. It is happening. The first African-hosted World Cup for FIH. And let's hope it's the first of many. I do think South Africa is primed to host something like the Indoor Hockey World Cup. Cape Town would be a great venue for that. The outdoor, just putting it out there if anyone's listening. Simon Martin, PSR, Indoor World Cup, should happen. But South Africa, we've got a rich history of hosting international sporting events, and it's coming there. We then follow that in January. Here goes Pens into the D, creating an opportunity, no shot opportunity just yet, and it will be a penalty corner as the ball is lifted of the stick.
Taran, I can't wait for that Junior World Cup. Definitely going to be there. Just a short drive for me, about 45 minutes to Potchefstroom.
How fast do you drive? That road is bad.
Leave early. So it's going to be exciting. It's great to have so many. I think we have 15 international countries coming to join us to make a the 4 groups of 4, 16 countries competing for that, and we've seen what the Junior World Cup does for people's careers. So really excited to see which countries are going to step up to the plate. I know we've got Germany, Spain, and the USA in the South African pool. It's going to be very, 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 very exciting to see how these young ladies fare at that tournament.
Yeah, and then of course we head over to Ghana in January for the African Cup, which is of course the World Cup qualifier. So we need to still qualify for the World Cup. A lot of people saying, yes, we've got the World Cup in June, July. We have to qualify first. Of course, you'll be up there against Ghana, Egypt, Nigeria, Kenya, that kind of country will be heading there. I have not seen who's confirmed participation. Namibia should be going. But that plays a role on it. That's also in January. Then a bunch of our girls. We spoke a lot yesterday about the crossover, the pollination, the indoor-outdoor. Of course, our girls now have the opportunity to go to the Indoor World Cup on the back of Australia and New Zealand's withdrawal. So, you're looking at a player like Edith Madikwe, who was part of the Tokyo Olympic Games in August. She followed that up by playing in the Under-21 World Cup. She's got a good chance of making the Africa Cup. She'll be in the Indoor Hockey World Cup side, and then she's got 40 caps for that team already. Then in June, June, July, you've got the Commonwealth Games, followed by World Cup. It's an action-packed 9 months for players, and probably the question is, at what point do we have to worry about player management?
Well, we've said that we would try, internationally have a calendar that can suit everyone. We know that Hockey Files is also going to come onto the calendar very soon. And do you start specializing? And that's the question we've had for years. Do players specialize that you're an outdoor player, you're an indoor player, and are you going to have players that just specialize in fives? What are we going to do? So, I think, like I said, sports science has come so far since back in the day when we used to run around 3 times around the field to warm up. There's a lot of science that goes behind what these players are doing. Calculation of load, how much you can do, when you can do it, and what you should be doing. So hopefully all these players that are involved with all different levels of hockey will be looking at that. We look at the men's calendar as well. Their IPTs could be early in the year. When does that happen? There's the Indoor World Cup for them as well. There is really good save. I think a great penalty corner as well.
Shades of Modipani there in that save.
Yeah. Stay low, take up space, and ask the striker to do something.
I'll throw statistical analysis out there all the time. Sometimes even statistics that aren't true, but everybody believes me because I say them with such confidence. Like 75% of stats are made up, and everyone like, yeah. But as a commentator, you can often sit in a game and which team is dominating just by which side of your neck muscles are a bit stronger. Now we're looking at the game the same way as you are at home, and I can tell you my head is very much feeling like I'm looking left. It's all pens at this point in time, but it was EP who had the best chance, and here is another chance. Stacey Edwards gets through. Can she pick up a pass? She's probably held the ball a bit too long there, looking for a penalty corner. Their pass was on. She didn't take that early pass, took it into a channel and allowed the defenders to get back and block her. That's the kind of decision making that it takes time to learn and time to develop. And
not trying to be disrespectful to any of the teams playing right now. The difference between 7th and 8th and playing in the middle playoffs is decision making. And I'm always coaching that if you can't see what's in front of you, you can't make a decision. So we talk about pre-scanning. When coaching, we talk about pre-scanning, looking up, knowing what's in front of you, knowing your environment, then you can make a better decision. And then from there, then we look at how you carry the ball, are you keeping your vision open. Then you can, again, I think the difference between a good and a great player is the decisions they make. Everyone here at this IPT can stop and pass a ball, but which passes are you making, which leads are you making, and why?
So not only are you getting this feed free of charge thanks to 4Ways Online, Belgotech Sports and ES Media, you're also getting the in-depth analysis from Coach Polo. Polo, you and I spoke about it during our Tokyo talks, our daily talks there. You got to score on the Olympic stage, a goal at the Olympics. You still say it's thanks to Kate Woods as we watch Province Pens get another circle entry and not able to get a shot. It's a story of their game. I mean, for players, obviously not every player is going to get a Tokyo Olympic appearance, but scoring a goal in an IPT final is a big moment for players, and it's something that you remember forever. How easy is it to get your team fired up for
your team to give that extra bit, that 1% extra. But an IPT final, everything is so elevated in everything that the players are doing. So there's no motivation needed. There's no sports psychologist that can do anything for you on a day like this. Everybody here is raring to go. But who's going to be that special player that's the difference between the gold and the silver medal?
Men's final in KZN Raiders won it, and it's not always the biggest name that wins it. It's not a Clinton Panther or a Nicholas Spooner. It could be a Cameron McKay, and that's not to be any disrespect to Cameron, but it's not always your biggest name, your headline. So we talk about Bobs, we talk about Pates, but could it be a Brady Wiseman who pops up with the goal? Could it be a Stephanie Buerta? Could it be a Lizanne Janssen van Veeren?
Yeah, I think these are the games where new heroes are made, new superstars take up space. Just put their name on that score sheet and be the difference between the two teams. And we always see that at every IPT that everyone's like, who's that? And from that day on, your name is household. And again, with this live stream, this will live on the internet forever. You'll never forget your big moment, and you can replay it, reshare it, and that's what's great about the technology that we have these days.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are almost at the end of the first chaka. It's 0-0. Pins having one or two shots. EP having two breakaways where the wrong decisions were made. But in fairness, it's been a little bit of a, let's call it a tactical warfare currently over a, what's the word? A masterclass. It has not been a masterclass so far. It's been tactical warfare. They're feeling each other out. And it's probably a very fair scoreline based on what we've seen so far.
Yeah, but one thing about these games, especially playing for 7th and 8th, the first game of the morning on last day of IPT, is that none of these teams want to go to a shootout.
No, absolutely. You don't want to go to a shootout. You don't want the game decided by a shootout. You don't want that pressure. Both of these teams want to get a win. They want to finish the tournament with a win. And here is an opportunity as EP drive. It is Kiara Meyers, and once again, just decision making, letting them down, and she gets there, but she's getting into the circle with the shot, and it is a goal with 2 seconds left on the clock. She messed it up, she got it right, and she made it count. And the first goal on the final day is Kiara Meyers.
Yeah, geez, like this young lady has been exciting all week. I'm just so happy for her that she's gotten the just reward for all the hard work. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm busy looking up in the studio at the goal again. Let's have a look and talk you through it. What happened here? Paulo, talk us through this.
Oh my goodness, we're looking at the last 10 seconds. She actually makes a turnover in the midfield. Boom, left hand out. Great technique, good carry, very strong carry for a person of her size. Taking up space. There she is. Great right pull, carry. She can't get the shot. Oh my goodness, she held that up so well. And again, for any youngster watching, that is exactly what you want to do when you're shooting from that angle. You have to go across the goalkeeper and hit that far post, and very good technique.
And as a coach, what a great time to score on the edge of the first quarter. We're going to take a short break in the commentary. We'll be back with you in about a minute. We're back, Eastern Province, with a big goal just before the break. A beautiful bit of play from Kiara Meyers. She made the mistake in losing it, but the way she reacted was sublime and a really good finish. It's the type of finish you love, and also there's nothing better than when you score a goal, you look up and the clock says 2-1-0.
Yeah, I think, does that change what you say at your quarter time chat with your team as a coach? I would hope it doesn't change much. Like we said, it was against the run of play, and I think we've seen it a couple of times this week where teams can't play out a chaka, they can't play out a match. We saw it yesterday in the semi-final with Southerns, I think with 5 minutes left, leading and letting Northerns back in and taking the semi-final to a shootout. You'd think that a Southerns team would be able to play out those 5 minutes, consolidate what they have, keep it safe, keep the ball, and not concede. But again, it's a semi-final. You don't ever have to motivate a Northerns team to come firing at a Southern side.
Yeah, and I think tactically, Southern's probably got it right. Northern's got it right on the day. They sat back, they waited, they made sure they stayed in it, they saw out the yellow card, and when they were in it in the last 5 minutes, they just went all out for it, and that was everything you wanted to see. And I can say I'm a neutral because unlike you, I'm not employed by Southerns. I am an Eastern Gauteng boy originally, and that looks so. But this is not football. We just walk it off. But as a neutral, what a great game of hockey. And yesterday's semi-final was 2019's final, and we could say that the difference then was a goalkeeper again. Yeah. The goalkeeper then was Pumelele Mbande for Northerns 2 years ago. She's she's moved down to Durban and now playing for Raiders this year. But yesterday, like you said, we needed a new hero, and Mudipane was the lady that stepped up to the platform. Well, don't you love it? It's another subplot. Their third and fourth place game. As someone who has to write press releases and stuff, it gives you so many topics because it's the Fourisburg, the Battle of Fourisburg, the Battle of the Fourie sisters. It's Mbande versus Northern Blues. It's got so many subplots to it. It's the indoor girls playing against each other. Here's a chance for Pens. They're in the back of the D, looking for it. Not a great connection, a good deflection and a wonderful save yet again. Quick reaction save. But it's all Pens and they get the goal. It was always coming. Rebecca Caps, the player picking it. It was about 6 shots on goal there. There's not much more that Gabriella Jordan could do. And Rebecca Caps finally finishes. Maybe Jordan will be a little bit upset that she made the 3 difficult saves and let in maybe the softer one.
Yeah, but those are the kind of goals you get in these games. You don't need the big shot from top T. It's the 6-yard, 9-yard goals that are scored. And I think, we don't say this enough, but I think Claire Cowan, the umpire, playing really good advantage there, letting the play go, and the final shot finding the back of the net.
Yeah, it's been very free-flowing in this game because Claire Cowan has allowed stuff to go, and it's quite enjoyable as a spectacle as a result of that. Yeah. I mean, we saw Maiden Klaassen make a foul on Nicole Kemp, but instead of blowing, she let her play, and that's really good management of the game. It's much more pleasant for spectators watching something like that. You think of all the recent rugby games, all the stoppages for umpires and how much it takes momentum out of the game. Our game is an evolved game, it's a fast game, and it's a game that we want to see lots of action, lots of stoppages.
I think we by far have the most technical sport. If you're a golfer, imagine playing golf running. That's what we do here. Yes, the ball might be slightly bigger, but we've got 36 inches of composite stick that you need to be able to control the ball. You can only control or use one side of the stick. It looks complicated. We make it look easy. It sounds complicated rather. We make it look very easy, but this is the most technical sport, most exciting sport, and it's quicker. If you think about hockey is a 60-minute game. The ball is in play for about 55 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. You talk about the golf. I've seen you play golf, Polo. You should stick to hockey. and maybe I should try play golf running because maybe it'll improve. But yeah, we've got a technical sport, but there's something about hockey. When hockey is free-flowing, as we see some dancing there, it's by Rosemary DeBray. When hockey is free-flowing, it really is so easy on the eye. You know, that's what was enjoyable about the SA men. I know you were part of that program at the Olympic Games, was that free-flowing, like no holds barred. It's just incredible to watch. You know, I know neither of us are Liverpool fans, but it's kind of like watching an attacking, free-flowing Liverpool. When hockey works, it's like that. It's really, really entertaining. And of course, you know, Liverpool scored 5 goals last week. Sorry to all our Man United people watching, but that was 5 at Man United. I'm not a Liverpool fan. I'm an Arsenal fan, so don't worry. I've been abused enough in my life. But everyone goes crazy. Wow, 5 goals, 5 goals. I'm like, come to hockey, man. We see 5 goals most games.
Yeah. No, you know, when we do a hockey game, if you're dominating, you're very dominant. And we've seen some high scores this week, which is fantastic for our sport. You know, this is what's made me want to be a striker coach. I want to be at the business end of the field. And I think, you know, the more goals we score, the more free-flowing our game is. You know, we're talking about the men and their performance at the Olympic Games. I think our main focus was just play with flair. Don't overthink anything. Play with instinct. Whatever you feel is right in the moment, the other 10 guys behind you are going to cover for you. And that's what was so special about that group, and that's what's still special about the squad that the men have. So yeah, it's going to be a long wait for us to be in Accra, playing in that African Cup of Nations. But that's our focus, is to keep the players playing. As we see another pins circle entry here, turn, shot, and it is just wide.
Yeah, pins probably the one thing that I could be a little bit critical, and they're young, they're inexperienced, but very one-dimensional in their attack. Baseline, pull back, shoot. I'd like to almost see, as you're going baseline, they're now feeding you to baseline, pull the early cross in, just to throw that confusion in. Paul, let's have a guess here. I know the answer because it's numbers. And we're talking about goals. You're a striker coach. How many goals do you think have been scored in this tournament so far? Including the 2 so far today.
I think day 1 we're already on something like 18 or 19. I think we're quite close to the 80 mark. What's the answer?
Higher.
95?
That is incredible. That goal there by Rebecca Caps was goal number 95 of the tournament.
Oh, look at that. All right, by the end of this will be on... Are we counting the shootouts?
No.
Okay. At the end of today, I think the next game is going to be a high-scoring game.
Yeah, we'll go to 100 pretty soon.
Yeah, we'll get to 100 quite soon. And another skill, Jabu, that I've noticed is the one we just saw right now. You know, the sliding, the slider, slap, or flats if you are in Europe watching this, or the sweep. That's been effective, getting the ball out. You know, there's a lot of deception in that, and a lot of players that have been using that. I know someone like Shanae Hartel has owned that. Someone like Kim Hubach has done that also really well. As we see Kiara Meyers trying to create something on the right hand baseline here for EP.
There's no surprise that every time she gets on the ball in the attacking third, you feel like something's going to happen. She's definitely the player that looks the most likely to make something happen up front right now. And what I will say is my neck feels much more like it's balanced in this quarter. It doesn't feel like we're looking one side, which is credit to EP. I think they've definitely got themselves a foothold in this game, and yeah, they're looking. Both teams don't want to get the wooden spoon. Both teams are looking to put the goal in and take that 7th place, take the bragging rights, take the social media hashtag not a wooden spoon, as we see. We pushed the whole table almost over now. That would have been entertaining. But yeah, Pens are looking a little bit frazzled here as EP are starting to get more position up the field.
Yeah, you know, we speak about the Eastern Province number 3, Kiara Meyers. She's been, you know, their ignition really for all the things that they've done going forward. She's been really good in the pockets, and I know the hockey coaches out there, some midfielders will understand what I mean by pockets. She finds herself in space. He's very, very confident to turn in that space. Very good at recycling the ball out. It's quite. It's exciting to see someone so young play such intelligent hockey.
Yeah, well, how old is she?
Kiara's what, 18?
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. She is, if she wants it, she can have a career in hockey in this country.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen a couple of 17-year-olds at this tournament that have come to the party, been very exciting. And I think what's great for them is that the FIH have said, after this year's Junior World Cup, the next one will be in 2 years. So there's so much hockey for these young ladies going forward in their careers. So a Junior World Cup is still something like that person like Kiara Meyers can still be a part of in 2 years' time if she doesn't make the team go into this year's Under-21 World Cup.
Yeah, of course, 5 years since the last one in a Junior World Cup really is something that deserves to be more often. Yeah, Chanel Robenheimer, she gets in, looking for an opportunity, pushes herself away from goal, makes it difficult, and they're able to get out there. Again, decision making, once she had gone wide, maybe not have the shot, look for the ball. But exciting moments again for Eastern Province.
Yep.
And things are starting to look brighter for them. We talk about Junior World Cups, of course, the other junior age group tournament that happens, and obviously the current planning for that is messed up by COVID, but is the African Youth Games, the African Youth Olympic Games, and many of the under-21s that are going to the Junior World Cup in Potch were part of your squad at the African Youth Games in 2018?
Yep,
yeah, 2018. And of course, one of the iconic moments was when we beat Australia in the shootout with Kayla DeVol doing the knee slide. That is, it should almost be a photo that is up in everybody's offices because it was such a great moment. She's a player that will be going to the Under-21 World Cup, a special player. You know those youngsters quite well. What do you think of their chances in a very tough tournament?
Oh man, I think that is the most talented group that we've had in a few years in terms of that age group. It's a very, very, very good team. We've got Bianca Wood, who just missed out on the Youth Olympic Games. Edith, oh man, it's such a great group of kids and such exciting players. I call them kids because I've worked with them often. But those young ladies are going to turn the world upside down. I think it's great for them that we have a home tournament. I really hope that there won't be too many COVID restrictions, that we can have a crowd there, we can have the country behind them. I know that it will be flighted on TV all over the world. So, I think they'll be feeling the support from all of us. But yeah, thinking back at that 2018 Youth Olympic Games, as it went, I just said to Kayla, if we go to Southern Death, it's you. She was unbelievable in Algeria at the youth at the African Youth Games, and she was unbelievable again for us in Argentina. I think I actually need to get this vetted. I think we have scored the fastest goal in international hockey. In Algeria, I think it took less than a second to score that goal. I need to send it to you, Jabba.
Yeah, please do. We'll put it all over social media. Hashtag give us our Guinness Book of Records. Paula, obviously, Fives is also, as we head towards half-time here, Fives is also a developing sport. It's one that you were quite actively involved in. We were supposed to, in September, have gone for the first ever international event into Switzerland. Of course, COVID decided that wasn't going to happen. There's a Fives World Cup coming in Oman. I don't know if it'll also be postponed because of COVID stuff, and we're not going to get into the human rights side of stuff there. There's enough being said there. But, if we look at it, and there's 30 seconds left, you've only got 30 seconds to say why Fives is such an exciting...
Well, if you think about the exciting part of hockey, I've said, as a goal-scoring coach, as a striker coach, everybody wants to see goals. In Fives, you get about 40 shots on goal per game, compared to what we see here, maybe about 5, 6 collectively for both teams. So Fives is really exciting in terms of looking at the goal scoring part, playing in front of goal, and in smaller countries, in developing countries, you get to give an opportunity to players who usually wouldn't be able to put on their national kit.
Yeah, there you go. You've heard it, chap. Coach Polo, led South Africa to the Youth Olympic Games. She'll be grabbing somebody in the audience, somebody in the crowd, somebody somewhere to have a chat with shortly now at halftime. It is Eastern Province 1, Western Province Pens 1 at halftime. We'll be back with you in a bit. Go get yourself a cup of coffee. Go and check your Twitter. Go hashtag IPT 2021. And we'll see you after the break.
I'm here with Elsa Davids. Elsa, as assistant coach for the Pens team, how was that half for you?
I think it was a bit of a slow start for the team. They kicked into their fifth gear just towards the end of the first chucker. Obviously, it was awakening for us because EP got that quick goal, just the 2 seconds remaining. Coach Ian has made a few changes now, and it's great to see that the girls got that equalizer back in the second chucker. They're sticking to the structure, and now we just need to make sure that we get that outcome in the circle.
The excitement of youth in your team has been unbelievable. You've created so many chances this game already. How do you see this faring in the second half? What is going to change up front?
I think it's just better connecting. There's a few balls that just went over the baseline. Striker's not getting there, and I think now the girls just need to make sure that they get that stick to the ball and make sure we're either looking for that foot, just get something in the circle for our team.
Alrighty. Good luck, coach, and I'll see you after the game.
Okay,
Let's go back upstairs.
All right, we're back for the second half of action here at Hartley Vale. The maybe previously the home of SA Hockey, because SA Hockey haven't been here for a test match since 2017. But we're back, we're here, and EP and Western Province Pens are looking to try and take the victory in this, the 7th and 8th place playoff, as we see Amy Pote, Amy Pote join the action off the bench.
Yeah, as you heard the assistant coach Elsa Davids saying that they're just trying to get 1 or 2 better connections in the final third in the D, get a penalty corner, give themselves a chance at getting a ball on target. Such a great build-up by the Pens team. Oh, and there's that ball onto T-point. Shot comes in. Really good save. Confident glove save. And EP comes back with Nicole Kemp, who has been a stalwart of this team the whole week. And it's end-to-end stuff here. Clearly, both coaches said a lot at that halftime break.
Yeah, I think these girls definitely got their Powerade, or if we have a different sponsor, they got that appropriate drink in. But yeah, both teams have come out with quite a bit of fire in their bellies. And yeah, some opportunities are opening up over here. Kiara Meyers on the ball there, but hitting her foot and not able to make it count. It's quite noticeable. We're only 2 minutes into the second half, but the pace has definitely been turned up a little bit here.
Yeah, it's that break just to remind the girls, remind your team what you're playing for. It's the last 30 minutes of your IPT. After almost 2 years of not having provincial representation in provincial hockey, you don't have to motivate them. Just remind them why they're here and all the sacrifices they've made to be here. And you can see that everyone's come out so fired up for the second half.
791 days ago, Northern Blues beat Southern Gauteng in the final of the last IPT. 791 days. That's what COVID did to us.
Yeah, it was frustrating. And I know a lot of us, you don't realize it in the moment, but a lot of people's personalities, self-worth is really rooted in the stuff that we do with and for this beautiful sport. And when we couldn't do anything, I think the first couple of months of the hard lockdown was really, really difficult for everyone. We couldn't even get out to try do anything. I know I watched a lot of hockey. I don't know how many hours of hockey I've watched in the last 2 years. Great surging run onto the baseline and cutting back and finding the foot and we have the first penalty corner of the second half.
That was Captain Leanne Lawrence. You've chatted to her a few times this week. Quite impressed with her and her maturity.
Yeah, I think, like I said, there's a great team with a lot of, I'm not going to say inexperience, a lot of youth, and Ian and Ilsa bringing that back in, making these goals, or these players play as one, has been really, really impressive. And as we see, a chance to take the lead for the first time in this encounter. Save is good. Shot comes in. Oh my goodness, what a goal on the far post
by Jamie Lee Chisholm, who gave a point up to the commentary box. I did actually see her before the game, and I said, if you score, you have to point up here. She hasn't forgot. She says, Tyron, I'm a right half, I never score goals. It's like, but you'll score today. I can't take credit. I was really just taking the piss, and she's got a goal, so there's an assist for me.
That's a fantastic goal. Really a dream goal for any striker, anytime. Being there, it's about the body position, how you hold your stick, being connected with the assist, and Pens take the lead for the first time in this game.
Whew, what an entertaining game this has started to be. Both teams playing with a little bit more fire in their bellies. And so far, so good. Polo, I have just brought up the most beautiful photo, and we will share it on social media. It is your logo.
It is my logo.
It is your logo, Coach Polo's logo, and it's from an article back in 2012, just the other day.
Yeah,
the other day.
Around the corner.
So Nello's love affair with hockey, and it's an iconic photo of you celebrating a goal for Southern Gauteng with Spa emblazoned on your chest. Do you remember that moment, that tournament, that goal?
That was the first time Raiders had made a final in, I think, I don't know, about something like 12 or 14 years. They were on top form. I think Jen Wilson playing for that team. It was the IPT in Pretoria, the Tshwane University of Technology. And I scored 2 goals in that final. And yeah, it's a moment I'll never forget, as you see that assist coming from Roxy Coetzee-Turner. She smoked that ball from the right hand side. I couldn't get around my defender, and I've just always worked on just trying to get the tip in front of the defender, and that's stick over her stick, touched it, hit the far post and in. It was a great moment. Never forget that. Never forget your Southern's goals.
Never forget. I can tell you, I can remember every single one of my goals for Southerns over the years.
How many of those?
0. Look, I played for Easterns once, and I've told this story a few times, so to those who do listen to Hockey the podcast, thank you for listening, but you're going to hear it again. I stood post at a short corner, and I had to stand post for Justin Reed Ross.
Oh no.
This was under 21. We went, so it wasn't at an IPT, it was like a pre-IPT, Easterns versus Northerns versus Southerns. And Justin Reed Ross flicked at me. He says to me,
was he
never...
still flicking bullets?
Yeah, of course. He was like 18. I was 19 or something like that. And he says to me he doesn't remember it. So I was like, yo, how can you remember when you scored 10 goals past us? Very forgettable. Very forgettable. Yeah, so anyway, no, I never ever scored a provincial goal. I did coach provincial teams that scored.
Lovely.
So that was fun. So Coach Jabu and Coach Polo here in the studio.
Provincial coach is killing it.
Yeah, there we go. If you wanted in-depth analysis, you came to the right place, as Western Province, not Washington Province, or Washington Province. So I didn't even drink last night. Western Province Pens leading 2-1. A great goal by Jamie Chisholm to put them ahead, and the celebration to match. So we are carrying on. Thank you to everybody joining us on the stream. We have a question from Michael Alexander. What does breaking the seam mean in field hockey? Heard quite a few times. So I can answer that quickly before you do, Paula.
Go in there.
So it's what happens is when you go to fines after hockey and your pants are a bit too tight and you drink too much, and then as you stand up, oh, here's a chance. Oh, great save once again. You know, you drink 1 or 2 beers too many, and as you stand up, you break the seam of your pants.
No,
Not quite?
no, definitely not. Very, easily put. It's breaking the advantage line. That is getting behind your defender. If your defender is looking at you or facing you, and the hips are square, and you get behind them and get around, that is breaking the advantage line. And there are many advantage lines on the field. We call it the ball line. In coaching circles, call it the ball line, standing behind, as you see now, EP having, this moment, everyone behind the ball line, so that you are pressing or defending with all 11. So as the Western Province Pens now, they're trying to break that advantage line, and that's where the ball goes ahead, breaking the seam, going through.
There we go, Michael. Breaking the seam, brought to you by Coach Polo, hashtag seam breaker.
I remember we had a couple of those here. Bonita Bob's, really great run of the ball, definitely a seam breaker. Bernie Constant, Lillian Duplessis, Kristen Payton, and some, this is with ball carry, and we've seen others who really pass the ball really well. In the Western Province side, you'll see Steph Botha, how she passes through the lines. I've mentioned Shania Hatal for Free State. We've got Lasagna van Vieren for Southerns. There's Common Smith for Southerns, as there's a chance there.
Oh, wonderful reaction goal.
Are we finishing out here? What's going on?
Joe, that's as a fan of the beautiful game of hockey, that's one of my favorite goals, is the reactionary goal, where it's a good shot, a good stave, and what Megan Snyman did there so well was she just read it, waited, and pounced perfectly. In fact, I think in my club career I maybe scored 10 goals in total, and most of them I was a defender who didn't go up for penalty corners.
Okay.
So, most of them came from reaction, when a keeper made a save and you react first or something like that.
Yeah, those are the rebound goals, the instinct of a striker, being able to anticipate where the ball's going to go after the keeper makes a save, and you being first on it. And you mentioned my Olympic goal, and that is exactly how it happened. It came off the goalkeeper, straight onto my stick, and first time touch across the goals into the net. And that's, it's about being in the right area. Again, setting yourself up to be the first one to react to the ball, where it drops, and making sure that you choose the correct skill to execute.
Absolutely. So if you're watching, make sure you're sharing, give us your love. Who's going to win this game? Is it EP? Is it DWP? WP? Viapia Pens? Is it Viapia? Not Pens. Is this game going to Pens? Who knows? It's got all the hallmarks of a showdown classic.
Tyron, the last time I played an IPT at the stadium, I missed a penalty stroke in sudden death. Marisha then, Marsha Cox now, and I missed, and we, we're the youngsters in the team, and when it went to sudden death, Marsha and I went, we'll take one. Not the greatest decision of our lives. Having players like Viti Kutia in our team, and Lindsay Carlisle then in our team, and we were the ones that put our hands up first.
It's great to see Megan Snyman's family, Morley Ives, watching all the way from New Zealand. It's almost night time and bedtime there, so apologies for my bludgeon of this accent, but g'day, mate. Hope it is a cracker at the Barbie. We actually spoke yesterday with Kurt Servantine ahead of the shootout in the semi-final, and said, what is your choice as a coach? Because back when I played, I often took penalties, but back then it was the shootout was the good old penalty flick.
Yeah.
And we actually never made our best players stake because there was always more to lose for them than win. And keepers often had watched them and stuff, and you took the guys who just weren't flustered by it. And we had a fairly good penalty shootout record. But I was also a weird coach in the sense that I actually had one keeper who was a penalty flick specialist.
Oh, yeah.
As we just watched.
And he'd come in just for the
He'd
for
come
the
in
flicks?
just for the flicks because back then you could do that.
Mhm.
And he'd come in for the flicks and he'd save 2 or 3 every time.
Fantastic. That's you're giving away our age here. Back in the day, you could, even for a penalty corner, you could have someone come in just for that. And now we know that you can't make changes during a penalty corner. Great touch there, Nicole Camp running onto
I
it.
thought it was a foot. I thought they were going to get away with that. A little bit of decoy magic. But no, you can't fool these umpires.
No, not at all. Yeah, I remember there was a player, Jürgen used to come on. He would just sit on the bench the whole game, and he just come on, score about 4 goals a game, just coming on for the penalty flick. He would just drag flick from the top, score, run straight off.
I know. We talk about football because it's the most televised game in the world. But when the Dutch team did it with Tim Krul at a World Cup, everyone said, this is revolutionary. I was like, but we've been doing it in hockey for 20 years. Here's Kiara Meyers. It's only 40 seconds left. We know she likes scoring a goal with no time on the clock.
It's really
She
good
sends it
chance.
wide to Tori White. Tori White drives baseline, looks for Meyers, and it's just outside. 28 seconds. Is there a chance for one shot here before the end of the quarter? Kiara Meyers must move it quickly. She looks, she drives it in, and it fires wide. That will probably be it at the end of the chukka, unless Pens throw some sort of magic overhead.
Hey, we've seen it. Matt Guys Brown throwing a bomb of an overhead to Mustafa Kassim, receiving it. Inside pool. Thanks for coming and smoking that ball. On the backhand. One of my favorite Olympic goals. My favorite Olympic moments.
I've been practicing my own overhead. I can now get it a good 7 meters. So, Matt Guys Brown, watch out. I'm coming. We'll be back with you for the final quarter in a few minutes. We're back. It's 1 quarter left. EP got the support of at home, begging them to get home, get through, get forward and win this game. Pens have the support of the crowd saying, do it for us. Go crazy. As they pass the ball to their coach, who's not allowed to play on the field. As we see the SA under-21s and Free State start to arrive for their game at 12 o'clock. Kayla Duval walking past. What a special player she is. And Polo, you know her better than most.
Unbelievable, and the best thing about it is that she's such a stand-up person. You know, she's a player that you want in your team. She's a great team person, not just a team player. So yeah, I think she'd also want to be scoring 1 or 2 today, or even more than that. I think she's had a really good tournament. It's been a little unlucky in front of goal by her standards. She would have loved to have scored more than what she has this week. Angela Wellham also had been to the Youth Olympic Games. I think she was also one of our top goal scorers back then. So there is a world of talent in that under-21 team, and yeah.
But they are going to play a Free State side with some of their own talents, and we start with the experience. We're going to start with the experience. Tanya Brits has brought it back. She's looking fantastic again. It's hard to believe that it's 6 years since she played for South Africa. Has been around the world playing a lot of hockey with Lene Milan. Played in Australia, in the UK. She's brought it this week. Shinderlee Simmons has looked fantastic and consistent as the captain. Another player who is actually rather young. But Casey Jean Burt, another player who's been fantastic. But the name that you've heard this week that you shouldn't forget is the name of Nsopa Mokwena.
Yeah.
Holy moly, how exciting is that young lady?
Yeah, no, I think she's one of the quickest players here on the ball. She's so intelligent in how she runs the ball. Really good at running the really difficult line for any defender. She goes straight to goal. And she's got that silky skill and does it at speed. She's been unbelievable. And we look at the other 17-year-old, Ane, in that Free State team. Like I said, it's been so amazing to see what talent has come out. And again, is it thanks to us not having an under-18 provincial tournament that you see so many youngsters putting their hands up to come to the senior provincial tournament? I don't know, but I'm glad I'm here.
Yeah, absolutely. I was chatting to the SA Hockey president this morning, Dion Morgan, and there's an opportunity for Western Province Pens. And I did say, often when we have these age group tournaments, as Pens get another circle penetration, but are unable to do anything with it, and EP will get it away. When you don't have the age group tournaments, often you have under 18, under 21 seniors, and some of the smaller provinces use the same players across all three, and it becomes a bit tedious. And when the player gets to the senior, they're a little bit overawed and tired, and but now not having those, you're seeing some youngsters really put their hands up and say, well, I don't have an under 21 IPT, so I'm just going to impress you all here.
Like you said, the smaller provinces, you'll see scholars playing in their under 18 tournament, then the under 21, then the indoor, and then at the end of the year you're playing the senior IPT, which is not so exciting for you anymore because you've shown yourself and you've had your year, you've had your IPTs. But yeah, this year's IPT, I think for everyone, even though the men's IPT will probably take place next year only, but it's been so great to see some high performance hockey played at this lightning speed. So yeah, it's great to see the youngsters. It's great to see for them to be, see where they fare against the more experienced players. I know that we looked at Soleil Damons also taking the field when needed for Free State, and we need to commend people like her, players like her that are always willing to give back. I think there were 1 or 2 withdrawals from the Free State side, and she said, hey, I was supposed to come here as an assistant coach, but if you need me on the field, here I am.
Yeah, what a great servant to South African hockey Solette has been. Of course, she doesn't play under the name of Damons anymore.
Yes.
She is Kutsa, and she's Mrs. Kutsa to you. But it's always great to see players, experienced players here, and lifting the players around them. So, in Free State, you've got like Tanya Brits, who's bringing her knowledge of travelling all around the world and playing the game of hockey. Even in Southern, so Bals Darasha has come bringing the knowledge that she's gained playing over in the UK this season. Players can only develop from that and having that exposure.
There've been times where it's been discouraged going overseas, not just from our country. Many countries saying stay here, be in your national setup, be in your high performance programs. But we look at the most successful country in the last couple of years, Belgium. It is by design for them to have coaches and staff from all over the world, as to make the hockey a hybrid of what is best around the world. And it's something that's worked for them. As we see here, ball stolen off Zimmy. She wins it back on the baseline. Oh, we haven't spoken enough about her. Zimisa Dunya.
Yeah, it was Rebecca Caps putting under pressure there, but fantastic work to win it back. Caps throwing in one of those beautiful jabs that we've seen, making an appearance a little bit more frequently at this tournament than in recent years. A well-timed jab is a fantastic tool in the game of hockey. It's a horrible tool if you time it wrong. It looks ungainly. It's one of those things that you just can't help but look at and you're like, oh, if it's wrong. But if it's right, it's fantastic. Anyway, we've got 8.5 minutes left. Can one of these teams make their mark, put the goal? There's a bit of a collision there off the ball as Jamie Chisholm looks to try and create an opportunity here for Pens, but they lose the ball. Nicole Kemp leading the escape. Sure, she looks for Isabel Bisdy, but she loses it here. Is Lawrence on the ball? She drives to Nicole Kemp once again there to break up play. Also broken up there by Elizabeth Porter, who I keep signing in on the COVID register behind. It's very weird.
Oh, really?
Both days that I got here, Elizabeth Porter and
Good
I
chance.
signed.
A swing and a miss. Oh. Karen, those passes need to be so deliberately onto your forehand. You should not be fighting the ball to get the ball into the goals there. Keep the ball low, and yeah, that's a very good chance that's missed there by the Pens team. With just
back in, here's a chance. Oh, good defense there.
Very great defense with 7 minutes left in this final chaka. This is not the time to concede, but of course if you are the attacking team, you want to get that final chance at grabbing. Would be the first win for both teams, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why there's so much more on this game. Both teams don't want to go home with a big 0 under the W column. They want to get a chance, and here is Chanel Robenheimer. Can she find a pass? She looks perfectly. It's just too heavy for Aliyah Dolly, and what an opportunity. That was a great counter attack, but not quite getting through to Dolly. And once again, Pens can build from the back. 6 minutes. Are we going to see a winner? Paulo, would either coach be brave enough to pull their keeper and go for it, or would they settle for a shooter?
I don't think. Listen, we've seen crazier things before. There've been coaches that have pulled keepers much earlier when they're drawing the game, or just even leading by 1 and wanting to go for the goal difference. But I highly doubt any of them are going to take that bigger risk. And we're looking at these passes now happening with less than 6 minutes left in this encounter. These girls have almost played 6 hours of hockey.
Yeah, and after the 2 years of COVID and limited action and league action in truncated leagues, yeah, I mean, when you look at things, the quality's been fantastic for the development or for the situation we're in. But ultimately, I think the big thing that we want to see here is let's have a grandstand finish. I'm actually all for both teams pulling the keeper, going for it, having 2 goals, a goal apiece, a go forward goal with a minute left, and the other team bring it back, and then we got to shootouts anyway. I mean, I could write. I mean, when I tell stories like this, you think I could write a book.
But this game has been exciting as it is.
It has been, but I want to take it up a level.
You want to put on a little bit of spice at the end?
I'm from the TikTok generation. I need excitement. I need something that's going to go viral other than commentary. Here goes Pens. Can they create a moment here? Let us have a look. No, but
Kiara Meyers.
Does
she have 1 more left? No break.
No. 4 minutes. Are we going to see a match-winning goal? A goal that defines somebody's weekend. A goal that means they can go out to Long Street tonight and tell everyone, I scored the goal that won the game. They don't have to say what position it was for. I scored the game-winning goal.
Yeah, 4 minutes left, Taryn. I don't think we'll see the super exciting finish with the keepers pulled. And again, we will ask, my coaching brain will ask, how often would they have practiced playing with an extra player? How often would they practice playing without a goalkeeper? And did they think they'd find themselves playing for this position on the final day of IPT 2021? Kiara Meyers, again, never saying die on the ground. She's already low enough. But
there's a chance though, Lawrence. She gets tripped. Could very easily have won a penalty corner for that. But they get away with it because she, what I like, she stayed on her feet. She didn't exaggerate it. She played in.
You've said we're not football. It's not football, eh? We don't dive around and roll around the ground. We just get up, get going with it.
If you can, go onto icons.nl this week and go look for the Amsterdam Bloemendal game. There was a moment there with Toonraf and Sander Bart colliding, but colliding on purpose. And both of them get knocked over, get straight back up. It was like, move, person, get out the way. Get out the way, person, get out the way. We've got kids watching this.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is, this is for the kids.
Would DMX ever have thought when he wrote these songs that he would get referenced at a South African hockey IPT?
Highly doubt it.
2 minutes, 40 seconds. Where's the goal coming from? Is it from the ladies in blue and white? Is it from the ladies in black? Which in this heat can only be getting hotter and hotter. They might be happy they're not playing the 3 o'clock, the 2 o'clock game. It's a blistering day out here in the Western Cape. As Joburgers aren't used to going from the cold to the hot like this. We either have hot or cold.
Listen, this week I'm very glad that I'm a very well-grounded person. The wind would have blown me away. Here's the chance. Nicole came finding Kiara Meyers. Again, the final pass.
Nicole Kim literally was playing out of her shoes there.
I wouldn't have passed her. I think Kiara's had such a great tournament. She shouldn't have passed that ball up.
Back yourself.
Yeah, she should have taken it right pull, keep it onto her forehand, and have a shot.
Yeah, Polo, at that stage, when you're a player who's playing in an RPT, you've scored a goal, you've played well, you have a chance to win the match. Just have the crack.
Just go for it. And there's one more chance. Minute and a half left.
Unless we get a goal here, we're going to get shootouts. Lawrence makes a change. They can get a break here. We could have a grandstand finish. But very good work there. Laura Cunningham holding the ball. Here's Kim.
Definitely still time.
Pens want this.
Late winner.
Here's Lise Stein. She looks forward. She plays it to Michelle Bennett. Can she come inside? Bring a chance. 1 minute left. She's held the ball. It's come across. Cunningham gets there. She'll get a penalty corner. Yeah, no, she'll get a shot. It's saved.
How exciting
and it's lifted by Michelle Bennett. Laura Cunningham, when she got the stick to the ball, it looked like this was the moment for her name to be all over the Cape Argus newspaper.
Brilliant stuff.
And we have 30 seconds left. Will someone be a hero or will someone have to settle? I think it's looking more and more like for the second game in a row at this tournament, we are going to showdowns.
Yeah. How was that? We saw a great performance by Matebo Mudipane for Southerns yesterday. Who do you think is going to be the hero this morning?
Well, I can tell you, Gabriella Jordan for Eastern Province has been the keeper of the game. She's made some great saves, read it well, so she would be the front runner. But don't write off Yana Marie Buertes for Pens. She's also had a very good game. And the two keepers now have the opportunity. Both teams in the tournament without a winner in regular time, but they both don't finish it with a loss. Probably a fair result based on what we saw. And unfortunately, in the game of hockey, in the 7th and 8th playoff, we can't share 7th, and we will go to a showdown. It is the best type of pressure you get. Who will take the victory?
How exciting.
Welcome back. It is the showdowns. It is Penn's Eastern Province 2-2 and 5 showdowns each to try and see who is the 7th place team at the IPT. Here is up first She goes wide and she fires it home. Chelsea Tomlinson makes it 1-0 for Pens. Very, very straightforward technique. Just use the blistering pace, turner pace, to make sure you net and finish. Laura Cunningham up for EP. Can she pull level? She goes a little bit slower of a start. She has a firecrack, quick shot. She's got 1 second. That is incredibly close, and it's ruled that it crossed the line in time. Wow, that must have crossed the line at 7:59. But it is over the line. It is 1-1. It's the danger of starting a bit slow. You don't give yourself much time. Here is Lise Stein. Can she make it 2-1? She goes left, she goes right, she goes nowhere because she loses the ball. She's running out of time. She's got to shoot. She's run out of time. Tackling herself there and firing it wide. And Jordan in the goal for EP celebrates. It is 2-1 to EP, to Pens. Sorry, to EP. Yes, EP now. Classy. Don't miss there. Elizabeth Porter makes it. It's now 2-1. Sorry, I was getting overly excited. Very classy in that finish. Running around the keeper, getting the empty net, and then just showing the composure to not rush it and miss the open goal. Kaylin Marie. Well, she backs into the keeper. She's running out of time. And it's fired wide. Jordan with the save. It is 2-1 to EP. He has a big chance to put the game almost out of reach. Megan Sneyman, she scored in the game. Can she score again here? Goes with pace. Good turn, but she fires wide, leaving the door open for Pens. It is 2-1. All the pressure on Amiden Klaassen here. She takes the ball. She trails 2-1. 2 shootouts left each. Can she score? Level the score. Taking the brilliant Jordan. She goes off with a blistering pace. Very fast. She goes wide, but she runs out of infrastructure. She runs out of space. And she fires it wide. It is 2-1. EP now have the chance to win the game. And the lady called on to do it is Kiara Meyers. She scored a goal in this final. She pulled things she scored the opening goal of the final right back in the first quarter. Feels like a long time ago. Can she now close the brackets by putting the finishing touch on? There she goes. She runs wide. Keeper misses it. EP win 3-1. Eastern Province finished 7th. Congratulations, EP. The celebration is massive. They're well-deserving winners on a fantastic game. And congratulations to Pens on a wonderful contest. Both these teams have added great value to the tournament. But it's EP who go home with the bragging rights and Pens who go home with the wooden spoon. We'll hear shortly from Polo with the winning captains.
Hello, I'm here with Chanel. Great to register your first win of the week on day 6. How does it feel?
It's very exciting. Obviously, you can see the energy in the group. The girls are over the moon, overjoyed. It's just a great feeling. It's been a long time coming, but we're just happy that we could have ended the week off with a victory.
Yeah, it was fantastic. We see the very exciting youngster, Kiara Meyers, opening the scoring and then at the end, taking the last shootout. You must be proud of her.
Yeah, I know she's a very talented player, has a lot of good energy, very exciting player, tons and tons of potential. Very excited to see how far her career goes.
How important is this win for EP hockey?
It's very important for us as a group. Obviously, our side is very inexperienced this year. We have a couple of schoolgirls, that have come through. So I think just ending off this week with this victory and, this kind of energy and the spirit leaves really positive energy for the girls who obviously, stay in the system and coming through to the next IPTs in the future.
Chanel, I thought you were good. I thought you were very exciting going forward for your team the whole week. So how did you feel about your performance this week?
Personally, not one of my best IPTs this year, but ultimately I'm just happy that I could have contributed to the side. For me, it was just being present for my team and doing what I can on my part.
All right, Chanel, thank you very much, and hopefully the next time we see you will be at the Indoor World Cup.
Yeah,
all right.
Holding thumbs. Thank you so much, Polo. Bye.
Thank you, guys. That's it. After day 6, game 1 done, we see EP taking that win for the 7th position against Western Province Pens.